Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Bangkok. Today it's another nighttime episode and I'm going to use a camera that I haven't used in a while. And it's a camera that I have since many years, and it's the OG Leica Q. So the original Leica Q that came out in 2015. Wow, it's crazy. It's now 8 years, so I almost got this 8 years. It's absolutely nuts, but still, I think it can still keep up with modern cameras. Even though it's not, I wouldn't consider this old, but for a digital camera, it's kind of old, but still a great camera. So I'm going to use this today. So I would say without further ado, follow me along. Leica Q, Bangkok, let's go. It felt good to finally have the Leica Q back in the hands for a bit of street photography. In case you're wondering, here I used autofocus, more specifically single AF with single field. I usually don't use face detect or anything like that. And in this scenario it worked surprisingly well, even on the motorbike driver as you just saw. The braking light in front of the guy was casting some really lovely red light onto him. Alright guys, the first few shots are in, but today I'm feeling it, and I popped on the flash on the Leica Q. In case you don't know what kind of flash it is, it's the Flash Q20. And yeah, so I can shoot it off camera, which is pretty cool, so I will go do that. And on there, I don't know if you can see it, yeah, you can somewhat see it, I think there's an orange gel. So I'm going to use that, so I will set the white balance a little bit cooler and with this gel, so pretty much besides the subject everything else will be a little bit cooler in terms of white balance, and it gives it a pretty cool look. I really like that. So I'm going to shoot the flash now. About the settings that I'm using I will tell you a little bit later on in the video, so let's finally give the flash another try here in Chinatown. It's been a few years since I've done that. Okay, let's go.
A lot of people would be a little hesitant to take a photo of a police officer, and especially when using flash, but here in Thailand it has never been a problem for me. And by the way, to process these files, I use my color profiles for Lightroom. If you are interested, you'll find the link in the video description.
Alright guys, so let me give you the settings I'm using for the flash. So I'm shooting at 1/15 f11 and the focus is set to a little over 1 meter and ISO is set to 400 and the flash is set to 1/8 power, and I'm using it, as you can see here, I'm using it off camera, so it becomes less obvious and it looks a little bit better because the subject is not it's not totally lit up, and there's also some shadows, and sometimes I'm not pointing it in the perfect direction, so then yeah, it's not ideal, but I like the look to use it off camera. It's a pretty cool thing to do, so let's get back to the action and let's take some more shots with this combo here, the OG Q and the Q220 flash. Thanks. Alright guys, I now just came off the main strip and I'm trying to explore a little bit more the small streets here on the side because they are also pretty cool. Even though the strip is perfect and there's so many people, but yeah, I wanted to change it a little bit up. In the meantime, I switched up the settings a little bit. When it was a little bit darker, I set up the ISO to 800 and lowered the flash power to, I'm now at to 1/16 or I'm now at 1/16. Just to allow a little bit more ambient light to come in and reduce the flash power just a little bit. So, but I will change that up depending on the situation. But the thing is, when I'm shooting with a flash, I can be more reactive, so I can react much quicker. I don't need to rely on autofocus because it's manual focus already set. I just need to point the camera and shoot, and of course point the flash as well. And this can lead to some interesting images. So, all right, let's continue. It's good fun. It's been a while since I used the flash on the streets, especially here. I've done this a few years back when I was in Chinatown. I've done this a lot. But yeah, it's good to be back using the flash here. So let's continue.
Guys, if you're not subscribed yet, now is the time and you won't miss out on future videos. And don't forget to like the video.
Alright guys, in case you have noticed, I'm using the wrist strap, the one that Votencraft sent me. So I'm using this today here, but I can detach it easily, which is great. So yeah. And it's really nice. Usually I use a strap and I hang the camera around my neck, but because I'm filming and it's getting in the way of my filming rig here, so that's why I'm not doing it. And I would wrap it around the strap around my wrist anyway, so the wrist strap is pretty nice, so it's not getting in the way. And the camera is secure, really nice.
Today's video is sponsored by my street photography zines. They include images from all over the world shot on film using my Leica M6 and of course the one and only Hasselblad X pen. Get one before they run out. You'll find the link in the video description. I love those old buses where usually the windows are open, always great for a drive-by photo.
Alright guys, if you want to learn from me in person how to use a flash or whatever for street photography, come to one of my workshops. You will see the upcoming workshops here, but there will be plenty more in the future, so check out my website. You can see it here, but also in the video description there's the link to my website, and go there to find out more about the upcoming workshops and future workshops. Alright guys, some might think, oh, using a flash is rude and you shouldn't do this, but no, it's not the case. Especially here, nobody really notices. It's just a fraction of a second. And also, if you use it off camera, it's not too obvious, it's not too in the face, it's not blinding anyone. Even if you use it in the middle of the night, it's not blinding anyone. So I've used flash for many years. I know people that use flash all the time, and it's totally fine. So I think it's a misconception that it's rude or whatever to use a flash. I think it's complete nonsense. So using a flash, totally fine, and it gives you more opportunities to create something that looks a little bit different, maybe change it up once in a while, so you're not getting bored. Yeah, and as you can see, it's super easy, and it makes the whole process even easier, and you can just focus on, no pun intended, on finding cool subjects and take the snapshot that you want to take. So let's continue.
You can't see it in the video, but the girls on the motorbike had a good laugh after the realization that I took their photo. When maneuvering around in the traffic here, you have to be a little careful, but it's not a problem when you're focused and aware of your surroundings.
Alright guys, that's it here from Chinatown in Bangkok, shooting the OG Leica Q with the Flash Q20 flash. It's funny that there's also a Q in the name. It seems almost that these two are meant to be together one unit. So if you don't have a flash, I highly recommend you pick one of those up. The link is in the video description, by the way. Pretty much, I think, in all of the videos, because it's so many people who ask me what this flash is. So it's in the video description if you want to check it out. And also check out my street photography zines and maybe consider coming to one of my workshops. All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. As always, you know what to do. If you liked it, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And we will see each other very soon in the next one. Until then, oh, and if you want to see that camera again, let me know in the comments. Until then, auf Wiedersehen. Bye bye.